family. I hope you guys are doing good today. It is beautiful and sunny here in North Idaho, and I am praising God for that. I don't like dreary. I am a sunshine girl. I am as solar powered as my home. There we go. We are live. Okay. It's been a weird week. I didn't go live on Instagram because I had a headache. And I recorded instead, and I uploaded it. However, it never went into place. I did it on Monday. So I just decided to nix it for now, and I will do a live. Wasn't meant to be there, I guess. I'm not sure. Good morning, Miss Carol. Good morning, good morning. We got Miss Tammy on here. Okay, everything's working. I think. I saw my picture isn't right that went up there for our class today, but that's all right. We'll get it out there later. So God is working. People are being healed. Miracles are happening, and God is doing all kinds of stuff. Just got a text from Toika. We've been praying for 2 friends of hers that have COVID, and God is working tremendously there. So we will continue to pray for them. And lots happening in the community. Amazing conversation in the community. I got to get back over there and do some more responding. I'm going in a million different directions right now. The Relentlessly Faithful Gratitude and Prayer Journal is going to go out in paperback in the next couple days, so I'm excited about that. And I've got articles going on and blog posts and lots of videos recording. My food video will be going live either later today or first thing in the morning tomorrow. I imagine first thing in the morning tomorrow. Got a busy day today. We got, let's see here, we got Miss Laura in the house. We got Miss Shelley in the house. Miss Cass is in the house. All right, awesome. Good. I'm glad you guys are all here. Keep praying for Toika's friends. Lift them in prayer. And if you have prayer needs, whether you're watching this live or the replay, please leave them in the comments below. We've got a huge crew of prayer warriors here, and God is working miracles in our community. It's just so amazing to see what God is doing. So I just ask that you guys request your prayers, and thank you to all my prayer warriors. So Miss Deb is in the house. She says, good morning, Tammy and friends. I'm on Fueled by Fire Live Zoom. I'll be back with you soon. Perfect. Love you all too, she says. All right, so I want to talk to you today about gardening. And I am jumping off of here early today. You want to know why? Because I'm sending you somewhere else. I want to see you guys head over to my friend Jason, who is conducting a webinar today, and it is the garden planning webinar. The link is down below, but it's TrayerWilderness.com/garden planning webinar. Go there right now and sign up because you need to reserve your seat, because I want you guys in there. I want you guys educated. He is amazing. He's a dear friend. He and his large family garden and educate on their lifestyle. Very self-reliant folks as well, and Christians as well. So amazing people. You'll also know them through my mentions for Seeds for Generations, which you can also find by going to TrayerWilderness.com/SFG. Seeds for Generations. Good people, great products, great knowledge and wealth of information. I will be popping over there too, because I always like to glean what I can wherever I can. But we need to be focusing on our preparedness. You hear me say it every week. Our self-reliance, our food, and our futures. Growing our own food is a great way to make sure you are going to flow through in the future. So, and really need to have that security right now. Carol's saying hello to everybody. Shelly says, I was not sure if you would be live or on Zoom. Oh, it is the last Wednesday, isn't it? Yep, that was a brain fart on my part. Well, I'm on YouTube Live. Everybody gets to see me today. Thank you, Shelly. I totally zoned on that because I'm already planning 2 weeks out right now. I'm so in the future. We've got so much going on, and while I'm saying that, I need to let you guys know I'm not going to be live anywhere at all next week. The Bible study will be canceled for next week, as will the Kids Corner. I'm taking a kind of a staycation and really need to get my head back in place, maybe. I just got so much going on, but I will be uploading videos here. So I won't be completely gone. I just won't be live. So I wanted to let you guys know that now, but be looking for videos. I am recording so much right now. I'm recording, I'm editing, I'm uploading, I'm recording, I'm editing, I'm uploading, and queuing things so that you guys have materials. That's really funny. Yeah, Shelly, I totally zoned. Yeah, so Miss Carol says, yeah, bring on the gardening. Yes, ma'am. She says she did it. Yes, you did it yesterday. Oh, you signed up yesterday? I think I'm following. I think I'm getting what you're putting down. Miss Diana's in the house. Good morning, my dear. Afternoon for you. Carol says, I got my paper and pen waiting for any stuff I might need to write down. Awesome, awesome. And I will share with you some of my resources as well. Mountain Man pointed something out to me the other day. It's really funny. When we're FaceTiming and something comes across my screen, I put my head up because I can't see straight on because the eyeballs aren't working, need the little goggles. And so I started chuckling and just caught myself doing it now. I said I'd probably do that while I'm live too. So that's really funny. And it's delayed on the other screen I'm watching. And yep, I do it while I'm live. That's really funny. Okay, so anyway, I'm entertaining myself this morning. Diana says, I hope you're doing well, Carol. Yes. How is everybody? How are things in your neck of the woods? What do your grocery store shelves look like? Tell me below, please. So Shelly says, unfortunately, I have to go to work this afternoon, so I will not be able to do that gardening thing. Shelly, sign up for it anyway. There's likely he may have a replay, and then you can watch that. But in order to get the replay, you'd need to you'd have to be signed up. So sign up for that, so you have that opportunity. Carol says, I'm fine, thank you, honey. Hope you and your family are well. All right, good. Lorenzo, day 10 tomorrow, still testing positive, but apparently he's allowed out after 10 days. Oh my goodness, they're crazy. Yeah, it's running rampant. Give me one quick second. Okay. All right. It's running rampant, and it's so many people are getting sick. But there's so much we can be doing and combating it. And although people are getting sick, I don't think it's as bad. And I think there's quicker turnarounds. How is he doing? Is he with you, Carol, or is he quarantined with his mom and dad? Shelly says, I'm looking at my garden right now, and my kale survived the snow, and so did my beets, so did my herbs. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Snow can be a good insulator. It's surprising what's underneath the snow. There's lots of greens here underneath this deep snow. I still, in order to get out and about, if I want to go for a walk, I need to wear snowshoes. It's been colder, so there is a crust on the ground. Excuse me. And shame on me. I'm over here without my coffee. There's something wrong. Obviously, I'm on live YouTube instead of Zoom. That's pretty funny. That's a good sign. Scary one. But we still have easily a foot and a half of snow on the ground. We haven't had a lot of fresh snow. That's coming again, though, the way it looks. So let's see here. All right. So Shelly, that's awesome. That's really awesome. Carol says, I'm praying he hasn't still got it as he's coming here Saturday. Oh, wow. Well, Carol, I know several people in the same boat as you that have experienced COVID and are doing just fine. But if you can avoid it, it's always better. I do my best to avoid it. Having it once was enough. If you do get COVID, guys, stay away from your electronics. It just worsens everything. Just seems to accelerate things and mess with the body. So stay away from your electronics. Carol says it's not too bad for shops at the minute, okay? Laura says, lol, I had to go leave the Zoom meeting. That's so funny. Ay, ay, ay. Yep. Well, as you can see, guys, there's no need to be perfect in life. We won't ever be perfect. And you know what? It's okay. And praise you, Laura, for coming and finding me. Wonder if there's anybody else over there. Robin might try to pop in there. Miss Jane. Miss Jane is in the house. Are you in the States? She says, hola, chicas. I love it. I love it. I love it. I refuse to come back until the snow's gone, so she's not back. Oh, that's awesome, sister. That's awesome. I envy you in the temperatures you're in and the clean air. That's so awesome. So Diana says, some are well stocked, others not so much. Many have stopped issuing rain checks. Interesting. So Tammy says, grocery shelves are not empty, but prices are crazy. Shelly says, I've been watching so many different YouTube videos about gardening and also stocking my pantry, both things I want to work on. Well, my video is going out for the average man tomorrow morning on food preparedness. And this video is just talking about if you are a processed food consumer, how do you embrace stocking up so you have enough food, and where do you begin? And other things to think about. Because right now, you know, it's like I talked about last week. For those that are holding the challenges to live out of your pantry, I think that is a tremendous challenge. I think that it's it's something everybody should do, but not now. Not now at all. So don't participate in those. And then the next video, which will be in the next 2 days, will be on how to stock up your pantry if you are cooking from scratch. And then there will be a video to teach those that do eat processed foods how to begin a from scratch diet. It's helpful to know. It's good information to know. And as you progress in your preparedness and as things are available, you can continue to stock up. But there'll be endless amounts of videos to jog your brain, to make you think about the things you need to really hit it home. Because like I said, these videos have been jam-packed, but they're too long and the average man can't watch them, and I need to get the word out. So, so it's interesting. I know the Carolinas are dealing with a lot of empty shelves. Walmart shelves are like barren. And I'm not talking just the shelves. Their freezer section, their meat section. I mean, there is like nothing left. It's really crazy. And I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if it's because people there are stocking up more, or they're having, you know, greater problems getting foods in. Prices are going up everywhere. I shared on our community. If you've been contemplating getting a Berkey filter, you can see mine back there on the counter. If you are contemplating getting something like that, you want to get it now. February, it's likely that the Berkeys are going up anywhere from 10 to 30%. And if you know and you're familiar with Berkeys, they're already pricey. But they are a really good investment. I'm very excited about that. I have 2 of the sport and travel Berkeys coming, and extra filters. So, you need to be stocking up on the things that are going to carry you through. So if you're interested in Berkey, you can go to TrayerWilderness.com/Berkey, Berkey. Tremendous investment, because water's our most important thing next to food. And if you can't clean your water, you're pretty much screwed. And if you don't have water, keep that in mind. FEMA recommends that each person has a gallon of water a day, and that's not just for drinking, that's cleaning and everything. So I recommend 2 gallons per person. Extra water is never a bad thing. But the prices are going up absolutely everywhere. Shelley, that's a fabulous thing to be just, right now is such a good time of year. Most of us are stuck inside, and not that we aren't busy. Like, I'm always busy, but this is a lot less busy time normally than the rest of the year, and I'm inside. So I am stalking YouTube for different things that I'm looking for and educating myself in different ways. But planting a garden is the thing you should be doing right now, purchasing your seeds. I'm reading Carol's here. She says, I know, I thought it was 2 negative tests then out. Well, I'm hearing that there are people that, get COVID and they're still testing positive a month later. And, I said from the beginning when I got it that it doesn't leave the system entirely for a long time. I mean, I was detoxing for a long time. I'm finally feeling like I'm not hanging on to stuff. Laura says, but of course we now only have to quarantine for 5 days instead of 10 because they don't want too many people calling out all at one time, lol. 1 egg short of a dozen. You got it. 1 fry short of a Happy Meal. There is no sense in anything that is going on, and there's going to continue to be no sense. So continue to keep your radar on. They're censoring like crazy. They don't want us prepared. It's crazy. I hope your head is out of the sand. Carol says he's at his mom and dad's. They all had it. I have COPD, so couldn't take the risk of him giving it to me. I know. Well, when I mentioned about the other people, they also had COPD and did fine. But it's a scary thought. I didn't know how my body would handle it either, and it was rough. But I'm here, and we know the things that can help us through this. So make sure you have your high doses of vitamin C on hand, your zinc, your Bs, your D, D2 and K3, or D3 and K2. I think I said that backwards. And the secret sauce, which is the Lymph Tone 2. TrayerWilderness.com/lymph, LYMPH, tone, TONE, and then 2 I's will take you right there. And Jane, I totally get you. She refuses to come back till the snow's gone, she said, and I totally get it. I totally get it. Perfection is overrated. Amen, sister. You know what? I would rather live life and have fun and just keep rolling with life than being perfect. And this is a perfect example that we are not perfect. And you know what? It's okay. Nobody combusted in place. Hopefully nobody's sitting over there, though. Oh, well, I didn't send out the email anyway. That would have been really bad had I sent out the email and invited everybody there and then showed up here. I just totally zoned. Like I said, I'm working 2 weeks out, and I'm not really paying attention, obviously, to the end of the month. So, too funny. All right, so Diana says very overrated. So you know what, guys? Take heart in it. You can see I am not perfect. I am okay with it. And that just, it's okay. It's okay. You know, a lot of times people watch these other people online and think that their lives are so perfect and nothing goes awry. And I try to be transparent, and I can't be any more transparent than that, can I? Oh, gosh. So Jane says, found a prepper store here today. Nice. Did they have good things? Thank you, Miss Carol. She says, hit the thumbs up button, guys. Yes, if you could, I would really appreciate it. That is certainly helping us get in the sights of others. So like, comment, whether on the live or on the replay, and subscribe. We would love to have you subscribe and join our channel. Also join our community, TrailWilderness.com/community. Lots of great information shared there and a lot more coming. Jane says the stores are fully stocked here. However, there is not a lot of processed here. I'm sure they've got all that good stuff that's just freshly grown. Are you going to soon turn into a banana? Thank you, Miss Laura. She's putting her thumbs up. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. And also, we do have a Thursday night Bible study, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we will be starting our new book in 3 weeks, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. And you can join us by going to TrailWilderness.com/Bible Study Book Club. I also am reading the 3rd book in the series to our kids at the Kids Corner on Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can find more out about that by going to TrailWilderness.com/Kids Corner. Tammy says, I found Walmart here and back before we moved had empty shelves, but no other stores did. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, because I'm not, our Walmart, the closest Walmart's over an hour away from me, so I have no idea what's going on there. But local stores here, you know, the Mountain Boy works in a grocery store, and there's no empty shelves. He said there's a couple empty spots, but he said there's no empty shelves. Everything is stocked. And I don't know. It seems to be Walmart. So what's the deal with that? You know? Who knows? But just the point being, stock up where you can. Shelly says, I've been eating out of my pantry, but I am also restocking it as I go, which is what you should be doing, as in rotating your stuff is a necessary process to keep your food from going bad. Exactly. Which is covered in my video tomorrow morning, as well as some of the thinking behind what's in your freezer. I love it. Jane, you're getting really acclimated in your area. Are you sure you're gonna come back? Let me see here. Laura says, stopped at the local grocery last week. They had just gotten in a big shipment. Looked like they called in all their employees to stock the shelves. I love shopping when they're stocking the shelves. For one, I can just grab a case and go. But also because typically if you're in there when they're stocking the shelves, you're there when nobody else is there. I love shopping like early mornings. 6, 7 o'clock in the morning if I can. Oh, when there's nobody there, that is just like my cup of tea. So what Jane said is Hamburguesa is $1.79 a kilogram. That's funny. Diana says, we love our Berkey. We were very fortunate as it was gifted to us. Yes, that is a tremendous gift and awesome. Yes, absolutely, Shelley. And yeah, you know, I mean, you guys see how I live. So I am living out of my pantry also. That's just a commonality because I'm constantly just restocking this. So I am just behind the scenes stocking up and keeping my quantities where they need to be. And like I said last week, you know, 6 months of food would be like absolutely bare minimum. My minimum request to you guys would be a year's worth of food. I also wanted to put out there that you can purchase your freeze-dried food, my favorite choice for that, and I do lean that direction for my vegetables if I'm not growing them and canning them ourselves, because I don't have a lot of freezer space, and eventually propane will run out. The electric could go out. So what's in your freezer would quickly need to be preserved. So we have plenty on hand to do that, but I like to have freeze-dried foods on hand because they're light, easy to travel with, and also because they have a long shelf life and they're easy to store. So I get mine from Thrive Life, and you can go to TrayerWilderness.com/Thrive Life. I have a store. You can shop there. And I recommend having some form of preparedness food on hand. I don't like to eat that stuff a lot because it just doesn't set well with me. I have to be very careful what I eat. And it's also hard to find good quality preparedness foods. So we've joined forces, and there's a discounted quantity or price for you guys by going to preparewithTrayerWilderness.com. So Diana says to Tammy, our Walmart is usually the lowest stocked store. Publix and Ingles seem to be the best. That's interesting. Shelley says, I just watched a video of a 17-year-old who has long COVID that paralyzed her stomach. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, we talk about this, we think about this kind of stuff. You know where I stand on the jab. There's just no way that would kill me. And I'm not putting that crap in my body. But at the same time, when you get it, what kind of crap is going into your body, and what is that going to do long term? How is that affecting our organs? How is that affecting our bodies? I mean, this is really a true mess. But those are all things I can't control. It's done. It's there. So it's going to be what it's going to be. And you just work on being healthy. You eat the best that you can. You combat what toxins try to do to the system. I'm super excited about the greens. I've been partaking. I've been utilizing athletic greens, and I absolutely love them. Having that in our system and being able to, that's something else I recommend in the video, and then powdering and whizzing them, or purchasing them. Right now, because of us not having the garden last year, I purchased athletic greens, and you can find them by going to TrayerWilderness.com/athletic greens. And the other thing that's really important, I think, in my journey with COVID was the Dandy blend, because the dandelion helps push toxins out of the system. The greens help push toxins out of the system. And collagen helps fight back too, I believe. And those are the three things that I consume the most. You can find the collagen by going to TrayerWilderness.com/collagen and TrayerWilderness.com/dandyblend, and also TrayerWilderness.com/athletic greens. But I highly recommend having those things on hand. The powdered greens, if you run out of vegetables, you have a means of adding nutrients back into your diet, because starch and protein, your body can't live on that for long periods of time. Regardless if the men need, heavy amounts of meat and protein, they still need greens. So we have a travel Berkey, but it takes so long to filter. We are considering adding 2 additional filters, but we generally use an under-counter RO water filter. I like that it automatically fills. Yeah. In our situation, I don't know how that would work for us with our gravity-fed water. So we went this route. Plus, if we didn't use the barrel upstairs to gravity feed, we could still use that to filter. So, plus we also have the Lifesaver that you guys saw us using as a shower unit when we were in the tent. And that is a filtration system, which is absolutely awesome. I really love that unit. Check those out too, because those are good to have on hand. And that comes with quite a few filters, and also enables you to have a means of showering. And I've mentioned that before. That's TrayerWilderness.com/lifesaver. So Shelley, with this girl with the paralyzed stomach, so what does that mean? Is she on a feeding tube? So Diana says, be willing to spend a little more on the products you take. The cheap stuff may end up being a waste of money. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I'm very cautious with our food. You guys know I will spend money on food because I don't have to spend it on healthcare as a result of that. Our food is our medicine, and you got to look at it that way. What we put in our bodies is really important. Same applies to topical products, hair products, makeup, that kind of stuff. I use all natural makeup and skincare and hair stuff too. And as far as like the Berkey and Sun Oven, Excalibur dehydrators, that's something too. Excalibur's having a sale, and so are the Sun Ovens on sale. And I would take, when those offers are there, suck them up. Again, TreyWilderness.com/Excalibur and TreyWilderness.com/SunOven. You hear me say it all the time. I am not opposed to investing money into an expensive product if it's quality made, because I want something that's going to last me forever. Here I sit with my coffee grinder that is, I'm sure, well over 100 years old. And having those and being able to continue using products, that's what I want. I want stuff that's going to last me. I'm also going to talk about products. That's going to be something, there's a video coming. In your home, you've got your coffee pot, your espresso machines, all of your different, newfangled items. But if the grid goes down, none of those are going to work. So then what are you going to do? So I put a video together for that as well, because there are replacements. It just requires some manual labor in a lot of cases, but very worth having. Yeah, and Diana, thanks for mentioning that, because it is really true. Same is true with the food, and that's why I'm presenting these things to you today, because these are things I consume. These are things I use. I will never share anything with you that I don't use or have experience with, because our money needs to go. I mean, right now more than ever, our money needs to go and not be wasted. And right now, stocking up on food, to me, is not a waste. That is planning for my future. That's an investment. So Shelly says, I'm using my shelf milk alternatives as their best before dates are coming up. And each time I do groceries, I buy a new one to replace the ones I'm using. Yep, that's what you guys should all be doing. Jane says they started to restrict occupancy here to 30%. Only one family member in a grocery store at a time, etc. As of Monday, they lifted that. Things change daily here. Interesting. Are you seeing as many cases of COVID? Are they doing masks? What is the scenario down there? And did you guys have problems, flying in there and getting into the country? Shelley says we have empty shelves, as it is more to do with the flooding we had in November, as they could not get any shipments here due to all the roads being washed out. We still have some problems. But, that is a perfect example, and so is the beginning of this whole thing, a perfect example of how things can happen and how fast they can happen. And, in the beginning of all this, everybody was in a panic, more for toilet paper than anything else, but they were in a panic. But now complacency is setting in. I mean, some people, it opened their eyes, but it may have only opened them for a short period of time. I'm always sharing to seek the joy and the good in life, and that's important. But you've also got to have an awareness about you and know what's going on, and have a balance there, because we need to keep moving forward here and protecting ourselves. So Jane says, I'll be back to pack a bigger suitcase. That's great. That's great. So Shelley says they just about had a strike for the ships that bring all the groceries and construction items over the island. It was a major concern, but I am trying to get more stuff just in case. For sure. Absolutely, yeah. And find out alternative resources and where you can get things and you know, I know it's expensive to ship things in, but are there places that will offer you free shipping based on the volume that you purchase? Good afternoon, Herbert. How are you doing? How is your weather and how are things in your neck of the woods? How are your store shelves? Do they have food on them? So Shelley says, I powdered kale, pumpkin, and have beet slices dehydrated, plus raspberries and blueberries that I have done myself. I just need to figure out how to use the raspberries more. Oh man, I would be using those babies in everything. I love raspberries. I love raspberries. But yeah, and being able to dehydrate that stuff is tremendously huge. Now, you can either rehydrate them, you can powder them, you can do so much. And, you know, the Excaliburs are expensive. I've had other dehydrators too. I do really like the Excalibur. And I shared with you guys, I found one at a yard sale. It was like hardly used. And I got it for 20 bucks. That was like one of my best yard sale finds next to our big cast iron pot. But having those things on hand, because if the power goes out, the grid goes down. In my case, I can't get propane. You know, I don't want what's in my freezer to go to waste, so out come my canning jars and stuff's going to get processed, or I'll dehydrate or whatever I've got to do. But having the things on hand to be able to do that, canning jars, canning flats, canning rings, canners, I have multiple. I have quite a few water bath canners, and I have 2 regular canners and extra parts. Having the extra parts and pieces on hand that for common needs, such as like the gaskets and stuff on the canners. Shelley says she's on a feeding tube both into her stomach and her small intestines as they are trying to wake her stomach up by adding a little food there. That's crazy. You know, and it affects everybody different based on our body's makeup, what we've experienced, how healthy we are. It's pretty crazy. But a lot of deaths could have been avoided if they were using the right protocols. And that has been proven over and over again. Again, don't be afraid to question what protocols are put in place and what is, you know, what your doctors say. You know, nothing should be taken as golden today. Nothing. There are a lot of doctors standing up, and I pray for their protection because they are putting targets on themselves, but they are standing up and they're fighting back. There's a female doctor in Houston, pretty sure it was Houston, that's fighting back and has a lawsuit going against the hospital that kicked her out, and also local journalists that have been really hammering her name for misrepresentation of treatments and misinformation, and they're trying to get her barred and banned, and she's fighting back. And there's a couple male doctors, quite a few doctors. I mean, there's a lot of doctors, the whole front line crew. I mean, they're fighting back. And we need to. And that's what she said too, is that she has never, her practice is not connected with big pharma. It's not connected with the vaccine companies. It's not connected with any of that stuff. She's free to make the choices she wants to make. And those are the people that are a threat. Because if they're not connected, they're puppets. They have to do what's instructed of them. So kudos to her, but pray for her protection and all those that are standing up. So Laura says all those dehydrated foods. Awesome, Shelley. How about it? Yeah, she's a dehydrating queen. She and Kelly and Deb, and Deb's been freeze drying now, which is awesome. Jane says, my inflammation is at rest. Never slept as well as this. My hips don't hurt. However, I did have emergency plastic surgery Drank bad juice, water, food poisoning, passed out from dehydration. Oh my. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. But I'm glad that you are feeling the benefits as you expected you would. So that is tremendous. But that is crazy. Oh my goodness. You should have texted. I would have recruited the prayer warriors. However, I'm sure you were not in a good way. So we will pray for you now and continue to pray for you. Oh, wow, girl. So because you passed out. Oh my gosh. She split her forehead open to the skull. Oh my gosh, girl. That sounds very painful. I wondered how plastic surgery was in that. I was almost afraid to ask. Now I get it. Okay. Girl, that's crazy. Well, we are praying for you. Yeah, dehydration can be very, very dangerous. Oh my gosh. Well, you're testing out every resource down there. How are the hospitals? Oh, hey, but the Mount Sinai Hospital here is top notch, and my plastic surgeon does Botox. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not good. That's not good. It's poison. Shelly says toilet paper is last on my list to buy. I have some old sheets that could be ripped up for that if needed. Exactly. Yes. That's why I save all our old clothes. Jeans can be made into a quilt. T-shirts can be used as toilet paper. Exactly. Jane says, I've got one more 4 in wrinkle now. Carol says, oh no, Jane, you can't be left alone for 5 minutes. Be more careful, right? You're a poor guy. Well, like I said, you're testing out all the resources down there to make sure that it'll suit all your needs. Good grief, girl. That's just crazy. Jane says, Shelly, we bought Bidit bottles on Amazon. Have to check that out. Shelly says, I like raspberry, but I'm trying not to eat too much desserts. I use them in my smoothies. I just need to figure out what we would enjoy. I love making crisps. I love oats. Oats are really good for us, for your metabolism. And as a matter of fact, I had oatmeal this morning with dried cranberries in it. Diana says, I have jars of dehydrated diced onions from 2014. Still using them. 5 pounds of onions fit into a quart-sized jar. Awesome. Awesome. And that's good information to know. And yes, dehydrating those, I mean, that's how our garlic, our onions, my celery. Celery dehydrates great in my sun oven. That's how I do my celery. So Laura says, last trip to Wally World, I noticed the expiration dates are getting closer and closer. I think they are cleaning out the far reaches of the warehouses. I wouldn't be surprised, I know a lot of these companies like Thrive Life, for example, had problems getting in vegetables last year. And if they are having problems with fertilizers now, it's hard to say what's going to happen in our growing seasons ahead. So, that's why I feel it's so important that we have our own gardens and really start growing what we can. Right, Jane? She says, Carol, I know, right? Yes, you need to be more careful, girl. That's just crazy. Ouch. Diana says to Laura, I've noticed the same thing. Interesting. Yeah, see, we don't buy a whole lot of processed foods. I'll buy salad dressing sometimes and jellies. We do chips and pretzels and peanut butter. But I can't really think of much else that I buy that's packaged. So I'm buying more in bulk. I'm planning to put an order in with Azure. I know they've had troubles they always kind of had troubles keeping stock on things just because of the volume of orders they get. But I know they were having problems with trucks and deliveries the last time I got something from them through this. So it's just pay attention and just keep ordering, keep stocking up, keep replenishing, and definitely don't live day to day. Definitely don't do any pantry challenges without stocking up. And minimum, bare minimum 6 months worth of food, minimum a year. Laura says, Shelly, get some heavy whipping cream, whip it with a blender, then add a little sweetener and some of those raspberries. Yummy, healthy dessert. Exactly. Yeah, a lot of things are coming to mind. Like I said, I love raspberries, so I would use raspberries in everything. I would add it to my trail mix that I would throw together. Yeah. Shelly says, I heard that if you dehydrate onions or garlic, you should do potatoes after to get rid of the smell out of your dehydrator. Yes, I imagine that would do it. Good tidbit of information. And then you'd have potatoes with a garlicky and oniony tinge, which is never a bad thing. Carol says, can you buy dehydrated vegetables and fruit? Yes. Freeze-dried. I know there's dehydrated also. The Thrive Life is freeze-dried, and I would imagine you can access that over there because they ship that and have that available in several countries. So check that out too, Carol. TrayerWilderness.com/Thrive Life. I got to watch my time here because I don't want you guys to miss out on the webinar. Shelly says, been reading a series by DC Little. Oh, she is one of my favorites. I love hers and Millie's. I've mentioned her before. Grant Us Mercy, and we'll start Mercy Rising, which is the continuation. Oh, girl, you're going to be addicted. Those books are amazing. Really good post-apocalyptic series that talks about foraging. It's on the same lines as Millie Copper's books, except Millie Copper's books stay in more of the modern times where DC Little's step back in time to a very, very traditional minded scenario, and it's really awesome. DC Little is a really good writer too. Hers and Millie's books, if I start them, I need to start them at a time when it won't interfere with anything, or I can give up sleep and not be too punished by it because I can't put their books down. Since you brought that up, if you aren't familiar with Millie Copper, you can go to TrayerWilderness.com/Millie Copper. It's MILLIE. And DC Little you can find by going to TrayerWilderness.com/DC Little. They're fabulous, fabulous books, fabulous authors, fabulous people. I've been contemplating getting DC Little on my radio show, so hopefully we'll get a chance to speak with her. But really awesome series. Shelley says, yes, Carol, you can buy dehydrated vegetables and fruits. Herbert says, I'm doing okay so far. It was snowing this morning when leaving to work. Yes, we got elk meat in our freezer. Kyman got his elk, filled his tag. Fabulous. Fabulous. So do you just freeze everything, or do you do any other processing? Jarring, canning, dehydrating, smoking, salting? I'm just curious, but that's awesome. Congrats. Tell him I said congratulations. That's fabulous. Elk meat is so good. My one thing above it is moose meat. Moose meat is amazing. Elk and then mountain lion, I think. Very good eating. The dehydrated foods you can store with the little packets in them to keep the moisture absorbing packets. And you can put them in jars, and they have the units that you can remove the air. You can also heat them in your oven to seal them. But that would be the way that I go about that. But there's a lot of other ways to do it. Shelley says, make sure you dehydrate your onions and garlic outside of your house or your house will stink. I think I shared with you guys that we dehydrated morel mushrooms. Oh, wow. I was dehydrating them on the back porch, but I had the screen door open. Oh my goodness. I will take onions and garlic over the morel mushrooms dehydrating. Oh my gosh, that was the most foul smell. Yes, Carol says, how cool, Herbert. Yes, that is absolutely awesome. And thanks for sharing that, Shelly. Others that are starting out dehydrating will be happy to know that. Shelly says, I bought my Mylar bags and put them in there or in my canning jars, which is where my raspberries and blueberries are. Yeah. And if you do lots of them and intend to keep them for a long period of time on the shelves, yes, I see that. Thank you, Laura. I was watching that. I want to share a couple of things quick here. But yeah, you want to make sure that they are staying dry and in a cool, dark space. You don't want them sitting in the sun. Laura said 30 minutes to the seminar, Seeds for Generations online training. So Shelly says, I have joined Written Apocalypse on Facebook, and I'm reading those through those authors. Millie is there. Yeah, that's one of her groups. So yes, very awesome. Yeah, there's quite a few really good authors on there. Some resonate with me, some don't, but DC Little and Millie's books are are hands down so hard to put down. They're so good. Millie's I totally get, and DC Little's I'm living. So it's pretty cool. Oh, awesome. So Herbert dehydrated some too. Very cool. Jerky. You can't have elk meat without jerky. Cass says I missed some. No worries. You can go back and watch the replay if necessary. And Shelly says, we have had a herd of elk that people have been taking pictures of. We have a rare type here that are not to be hunted. Interesting. Curious what they are. Shelly says, I still need to get some oxygen absorbers in the silica packets for keeping longer. Thank you for... I was not spitting that out very well. Okay, so I want to share this with you so you guys have these. These are important, and I think every gardener should have these on hand. Okay, let me show you. This is the book. So this book is by my friend Melissa Norris, and a hands down must have on your shelf. You can find it by going to TrailWilderness.com/family garden planner. And this book walks you through every vegetable. She's got charts in the back here somewhere that help you to determine how much you need to grow to cover your family's needs of each vegetable based on serving size. It's a great start. It's a great place to start. My guys eat in abundance, and I am the vegetable girl. Like, I ate a whole thing of vegetables myself last night, a whole pot full. So serving sizes are kind of hard in my house, but this is the greatest baseline I've ever seen. And I just know what I need to do for my family. You know, if you're the same or you eat a lot of vegetables or your serving sizes are much larger, just double it, whatever you got to do. But this is great. And I really recommend having it on hand. I recommend getting these now. Read through this. This is an easy read. There's so much good information. And then you've got the Family Garden Planner, which is a must to go with this, and you can find that by going to TrailWilderness.com/family garden planner. So it was the Family Garden Plan, TrailWilderness.com/family garden plan, and then TrailWilderness.com/family garden planner. Links are below. But this, keeping track of what you've got going on in your garden year to year is super important, because you can refer back to this, because as much as we think that we're going to remember, we don't. And when you keep track of things, it helps to not only organize what you've got growing, but this is a great way to plan what you're intending to do. I know Jason will talk you through that. If you haven't signed up, the link is below, and we'll be starting shortly. TrailWilderness.com/garden planning webinar. Go sign up. That way, if he has a replay, you get that as well. But definitely check that out. Herbert says, okay, Tammy, heading back to work. Have a blessed afternoon, everyone. Yes, elk jerky, yum. It was so good to have you join. I'm glad you joined us on your lunch break. That really humbles me that you take that time. So thank you so much. I'm glad life is well. I'm glad you guys filled your tags, and may God bless you guys. Take care, Herbert, and thank you. Okay, everybody's saying goodbye to Herbert, and Shelly says Roosevelt elk. I'm going to have to look them up. That's interesting. Very interesting. So, can't see who said that. I just did a screenshot. Oh, Shelly says, I love my dehydrator for making jerky. Yes. When we made our jerky, we did that in the smokehouse, and man, that was good. Oh my goodness. And we had smoked chickens and turkey and a couple deer roasts, and oh my goodness, so yummy. Thank you, Miss Diana. She says, thumbs up, everyone. Thank you very much. Yes, if you guys could give it a thumbs up and some lovin', share it with your friends that need this kind of knowledge that maybe you can't resonate with, and that you're not hitting home. Share it where you feel you can reach people, and subscribe, hit the notification button. You know, I did that video last week. You know, they're really censoring, and Miss Mill and I are noticing that they're not really notifying people properly either on certain subjects. So I've kind of been testing it, and my stuff is not reaching where it should at times. So be sure to check back. If you're not being notified, keep checking back, because I have a lot coming your way. I want to read this to you guys, because as we talk about all this stuff, you know, I know that there's heavy weights on everybody's shoulders. I'm more excited about just preparing forward. I'm excited about planting a garden. You know, we have plans for our greenhouse. We have much of the materials here. Our water needs to get in. Things just took us in a different direction. We were hoping to have that all in place this past year. So this year we'll see what happens. But I have a really big potato bed. And what we will do, I have extra soil. I'm going to do a bed next to that and just plant what I can. Our poor deer out here are starving right now. I got a bale of alfalfa, and here's a little tidbit of information if you're ever feeding your deer, because we've got so much snow on the ground and we had that virus go through before hunting season, so I'm trying to help them out. They have Timothy and alfalfa in at the feed store, and Timothy, the deer will eat out of starvation, but it'll kill them. So keep that in mind. If you're feeding the deer, they need alfalfa or something other than Timothy. But as the weights of the world are on us, you know, there's still much that we can do. There is so much we can do, and it's also important to keep our eyes in the right place. So let me read this to you guys. Matthew 11:29. Take the yoke I give you. Jesus spoke to people who had given up on religion, people who were burned out trying and failing to observe a long list of rules and regulations. Here is what he told them. If you are tired from carrying heavy burdens, come to me and I will give you rest. Take the yoke I give you, put it on your shoulders, and learn from me. I am gentle and humble, and you will find rest. This yoke is easy to bear, and this burden is light. The yoke Jesus spoke of was a harness that went around the necks of 2 oxen so they could pull the plow in the same direction. In each team of oxen, one was the leader and the other would follow. There is an important lesson here. Don't miss it. Jesus will take the lead, but you must stay in sync with him to enjoy his blessings on your life. He promises his yoke won't choke you, it won't be wearisome or confining, and you won't chafe under it. In fact, if you want to be truly free, you must let yourself be yoked to Jesus by submitting your will to his. But it doesn't work to accept Christ's yoke for a while and then start pulling the other way when things don't go the way you want. When you do, the load gets heavier and you start to feel worn. Peace and rest come when you relax in the yoke and let Christ lead. Jesus said you will find rest. That means your options are to resist him or to rest in him. Which will it be? I encourage you guys to really meditate on that. I think I'm going to share that in the community today too. You know, you hear me saying it's important for God to lead the way. It's important to resign ourselves to God and let him show us and guide us and take us through life. And it doesn't make life uneventful or non-adventurous. Trust me, you guys see my life. You see the crazy things we've gone through. You see the fun things we do. Christianity isn't for wimps. And Christianity isn't for those that want a mundane life. Christianity is exciting. There's adventure in it. There's adventure alone in handing things over to God and waiting to see what he's going to do, what he's going to open up for you, where he's going to take you. And that's invigorating to me. So be sure to give your burdens to him and to find rest in him, because that is where you're going to find it all, guys. I promise you. So I am going to say a prayer so you guys can get over to the webinar. Maybe have a potty break in between. Don't miss this webinar. When this free stuff comes available to you, dive into as much as you can. That way you can invest your money into your food and in the things you need and get the knowledge you need. And remember, knowledge is not power until you put it to action. It needs to be active. You need to be using the knowledge you find in order for there to be power in it. So, again, TrayerWilderness.com/garden planning webinar. I'm going to say a prayer here. Papa, I just thank you for this time. I thank you for your hand on our community. I thank you for touching Carol and just keeping her healthy, and just healing Lorenzo and her daughter and son-in-law, and just touch them and heal them and keep Carol healthy. And just be with Miss Jane, touch her body and heal her, and just keep her safe down there. Put a little bubble around her, if you will. And just thank you that you've already had your hand in place. Be with Toika's friends. Just continue to touch their bodies and heal them. Be with Tammy as she's racing around Tennessee, getting her home started and built. And just give her strength and courage. And be with everyone as they are out trying to fill their pantries and stock their shelves. Help them to have plenty available and time to get what they need. And just guide and direct each of our paths. Help us to know what to do, how to discern things, and to be aware of our surroundings, and also aware where we can help and where we can't, and to put our energies toward what we can do and keep our minds off of the things we have no control over. And just allow everyone today to pop over to the webinar and to glean as much as they can there, get their gardens going, and be able to grow food for themselves and their families, and begin that journey if they haven't, nurture that journey if they have, and just keep faithfully preparing forward. Papa, thank you for the miracles and answers to prayer that you've been providing. Thank you for all you're doing. Just be with the mountain man today and keep him safe. And thank you for what you're going to do, the abundance, the blessings, and how you will protect us and give us rest. We love you and ask all of this in your holy and precious name of Jesus. Amen. All right, guys. So pop over there, TrayerWilderness.com/garden planning webinar. Stock up and make sure you have these two beauties in your arsenal. TrayerWilderness.com/family garden plan, and TrayerWilderness.com/family garden planner. Get them. Make sure you have them, and continue to seek knowledge, but put it to action, guys. Whatever you're learning, start implementing it. Deb's back in here. She says, I've listened to, I'll have to listen to the replay immediately. Love you too, lady. It's all good. Life happens. You've got stuff to do, and I totally get that. I totally get that. Carol says, love and hugs and prayers to all. Likewise, beautiful friend. Deb says, loving my new Harvest Right freeze dryer and the goodness it has already shared. Oh, I'm sure those things are beauties. Diana, have a blessed rest of your week also. And she says that to everyone. And thank you, Miss Laura. She says, amen. Have a blessed day, all. I love you guys. Again, I won't be live next week at all, but I will be putting videos up, so watch for them. They're educational. They're important. Keep faithfully moving forward. I will see you the following Monday on Instagram Live for the Monday Inspiration. I will see you at Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Bible study and Kids Corner will be held. So be sure to join us in our community, TrayerWilderness.com/community. All right, guys, go to the webinar. I love you all. Jane, take care of yourself. We're praying for you. Carol, you too. And God bless everybody.